Hi everyone, today I'm going to be talking about my winter favorites. Like always, starting off with books, I'm going to be doing a winter reading wrap-up. I'm going to try to do seasonal reading wrap-ups again. Now I'm going to mention two books which extremely surprising for me. They're short stories. I don't really like, I'm not the biggest short story fan, but I think that I do love classic short stories. Starting off with my first read of this year, The Beautiful Cassandra by Jane Austen. I read this book during my England trip. I read it in Yorkshire, in Derbyshire, in London. This book actually contains quite a lot of different short stories. I feel like we don't give enough credit to Jane Austen for how witty she was. She was actually a funny girl. She wrote these short stories when she was, I think, 12. You can tell she was young when she wrote them, but the absurdity and the witty stories are just did it for me. I was actually laughing while reading these short stories, which is not something that I tend to do with books. And then I have The Yellow Wallpaper by Charlotte Perkins Gilman. This one only contains 3 different short stories. All 3 of them stand out in my mind. Like all 3 of them, the story is impactful enough that I remember every single thing that happened in every single short story. The last one, All Water, while I was reading it, I was thinking, okay, this is going to be my least favorite. But the plot twist at the end made me laugh. Again, books don't tend to make me laugh. And by the end of it, I thought, okay, Charlotte, honey, you're extremely hilarious, because I wasn't expecting this plot twist. I thought it was going to be a very sad ending to a story. It wasn't. That Yellow Wallpaper was actually a reread for me, but the amazing thing about rereading books, you get to go more in depth with the story. In this story, she mentions a doctor, and she doesn't talk very highly about the doctor. I was really curious to know if the doctor actually existed. And yes, he did. It was Dr. Ware Mitchell, and he was actually Charlotte's doctor as well. It's not very hard to imagine what her opinions about this doctor actually were, because of the way she writes about the doctor in this book. These 2 books are amazing if you're looking for short stories written by women that are actually witty and they're not depressing, and you'll have a great time. Okay, now moving on to movies. The first one, in no particular order, is People Will Meet on Vacation. The scene when they're in New Orleans and they're dancing to Forever My Girl, that scene is engraved in my mind. If you're not a fan of rom-coms nowadays and you want a rom-com that is like a 2000s feeling, this one will do. Then Hamnet. I went to see Hamnet with my mother. She had read the book as well. I love this type of movies because I feel like they're curing our brains nowadays. We are very overstimulated with movies. Movies are fast-paced. They are filled with sound effects and also video effects. Like, we need to be constantly overstimulated nowadays, otherwise people are not engaged and they don't like the movie. The visuals of the movie, just the visuals alone, make the entire movie for me. Also, how realistic the clothing was. They didn't change clothes every single scene because that was not realistic back in the day. And also they had color, which is one of the most realistic things, because the Renaissance was colorful. I don't want to give any spoilers in case you haven't watched the movie, but the ending of the movie, when Agnes realizes that something is going to be known for eternity, that was a very wholesome first cycle moment that really gave me full body chills in the cinema. Then Silent Night, oh my god, I feel like I haven't seen anyone talk about this movie. I saw it with my mom. I didn't know anything about the movie. I think that's the best way to go, because when I started watching the movie, I didn't really expect that much. My mom just put it on and I was okay, like, let's see the movie. And while the movie was progressing and I realized where the story was headed. And then lastly, The Teacher Who Promised the Sea. This is a Spanish movie that I also saw with my mom. I love watching movies with my mom. The main character is a Catalan Republican, and this is set right before the Spanish Civil War. This story is about a Catalan teacher from Tarragona that moves to Burgos to just be a teacher and teach kids. First of all, I loved his Catalan accent, because that's a real actor's Catalan accent, and hearing that accent just reminds me of so many of my family members that have passed away. That movie has a dual timeline. One of the timelines is the teacher teaching kids and the adults around him being kind of skeptical because he's Catalan, so he's obviously a Republican, so he has a very different mindset from everyone around him. And then the other timeline is his great-granddaughter trying to find his body. This is actually a true story. I feel like I did mention, I don't know the correct term in English, but there's a lot of human burials, like massive human burials of the Spanish Civil War, and nowadays they're still finding some of those communal burials, because there were so many that we don't really know where a lot of bodies still are. In case you didn't know, I'm Catalan and pretty much my entire ancestry is Catalan. My blood is very Catalan, if you will. So I've heard a lot of stories about the Spanish Civil War in my family. Now moving on to TV shows. The first one is Ena. This is also a Spanish one. I love historical things, so if you're also a historical buff, I feel like you're really going to like this one. This miniseries follows Alfonso XIII and his wife Eugenia. Eugenia was actually a granddaughter of Queen Victoria. She was the daughter of Victoria's youngest daughter. I cannot tell you right now the exact dates of the kingdom, but they were king and queen during the Republic, the First Republic, or the second one. I think it was the first. Wait, I know the story, but right now I'm getting kind of confused. But they actually had to escape Spain. Alfonso's and Eugenia's children never got to rule in Spain because we had a dictatorship with Franco, and it was actually Alfonso's grandkid Juan Carlos that came back to Spain when he was around. He was like a kid teenager, so he could be educated in Spain, so he could rule once Franco died. Franco was the one that decided that, like, our dictator decided that once he died, a monarchy will be restored in Spain. And then I also saw season 2 of 1923. I didn't know if I wanted to include this one in my favorites because I didn't have the greatest time watching season 2 because of how brutal and abusive it is. Like, I feel like season 1 was also that, but maybe now I'm more sensitive. And also the ending fucking sucked. In my mind, like, it was a good ending, but it wasn't the ending that I wanted. But I just love the Yellowstone universe, and even though the season 2 of 1923 wasn't my favorite, it's still a favorite, and I just love a good cowboy story set in the early 20th century. Some creators, the first one is Elena Tea. She's an Australian content creator that has Italian roots. She makes some of the most amazing content that I've seen in a very long time. I discovered her because I saw that she was following me on Instagram, and I decided to follow her back and watch her content. I'm really glad that I did. Not only she puts so much effort in editing her content, you can also tell that she pours her heart because she's very open and she talks about hard topics, but she does it in a way that's very impactful, and I feel like she is really talking about her life so she can help others. She makes beautiful ceramics as well. She's an artist. Her YouTube, Instagram and TikTok, all 3 platforms have beautiful content. Then Leah Crampton is a British book creator. She creates content for YouTube, TikTok and Instagram. Her book taste goes from fantasy to classics to short stories to pretty much anything you can think of. She has a very wide range of genre. She reads a wide range of genres. Then Jem Lem, she's also an Australian content creator that creates content about books, lifestyle content, and also handball, which is not a sport that I tend to watch. I did play handball in school, but it's not a sport that I have played ever since. And also she loves learning languages, which is something that I also like doing. So her content is also very inspiring. And again, like Elena Tea, her editing, marvelous. Whenever I'm watching her videos, I feel like I'm watching a very intimate video of her thoughts and her life and her friends, and it's a very wholesome video. Like, every single one of her videos are very wholesome. Then Luna Montana, I love her YouTube videos. During winter she creates a lot of nutcracker vlogs because she's a ballerina. And then for Goodreads, Roman Claudia, she reads a lot of classics and I adore classics. She also reads a lot of literary fiction and translated fiction. Then moving on to music, I loved the new Zach Bryan album. He recently got married to a Spanish girl, I believe, because a lot of his songs have a lot of Spanish references right now. Like, for example, the song Rani X talks about the beautiful eyes of a Spanish woman. And then I've also been listening to a lot of ABBA albums. Any ABBA album, and a song by ABBA that I've been listening to a lot lately is Don't Shut Me Down, which is a pretty recent song for them. And then some other songs that I've been listening to non-stop are Words by F.R. David, I'm Gonna Miss You by Milli Vanilli, Be Like a Woman by Chris Wendell. Then for clothes, my Uniqlo coat, I bought this I think in 2024 and I wear it every single day. It's starting to show that I wear it every single day. I've worn that coat for so many trips and it's just the perfect coat. It's a perfect color, it's a perfect length, and I love my coat. Me and my coat have a love story. Also, another Uniqlo favorite is a Heat Tech socks, leggings, also for the upper part of my body, and also clothes. This year I was going to the English countryside, so I decided to buy it for myself. It's not really that expensive and it really does the job. Also a good big scarf. I have a red one that again I wear every single day when it's cold. I repeat clothes all the time because if something works for me, I repeat it. And that red scarf came with me to my English countryside trip, and it was amazing because I could wear the scarf, I could wear it on top of my head if my ears were very cold. I also wore ear muffs, so that really helps. That red scarf, it has been with me since 2021, I think. It still does the job. And also wool sweaters, also 100% wool. I buy mine in Uniqlo or also La Roca Village if you are from Barcelona, because they are discounted ones. I have some from Port Ralph Lauren, but like discounted ones from Port Ralph Lauren. Also Usual, they make really good ones, but they're more expensive, so again, buy them discounted. And Uniqlo. Uniqlo has amazing, I've mentioned Uniqlo a lot, but Uniqlo has amazing clothing. I feel like if you really want to buy good quality pieces, Uniqlo is the way to go. And then some life favorites, my England trip. I talk more in depth about my England trip in my winter diaries. This is my first proper solo trip. It really helped me to be more in tune with myself. It really set an amazing start for 2026 because I was able to be 5 days on my own, just organizing my thoughts and just setting priorities straight in my life. I saw so many beautiful places that I wanted to see, like the Bronte Passionas Museum, the Chatsworth House. Pride and Prejudice was filmed in that house. I also went to see many museums. It was such a beautiful trip. I was alone with my thoughts for 5 days, actually 6 days. I can only say good things about it. I want to do more solo trips after this one. Also, winter is calçotada time. Calçotada is a Catalan tradition, which is one of the best ones. Then I also went to a Sorolla exhibition in February with my beautiful mother. Sorolla was one of my favorite painters. He's a Spanish impressionist painter. Impressionism is one of my favorite art movements, and I feel like we only talk about the French ones, which makes sense since Impressionism is an art movement that started in France. Sorolla is from Valencia in the Mediterranean coast, so a lot of his paintings were at the beach. If you're Mediterranean, whenever you see those paintings, you feel at home. Like, I'm from Barcelona, I'm not from Valencia, but those paintings reminded me of my childhood. Then at the beginning of the year, one of my best friends from school that I've known since I was 4 or 5, she had a kid. She's the first one from our close group of friends that has had a kid. Also a love update that has not really anything to do with me, but my brother got engaged on Christmas Eve to an amazing woman. Like, that woman is one of my best friends right now because I couldn't ask for a better sister-in-law. Also, I started working out, and I want to mention it as a favorite because I'm not someone that is very active when it comes to working out. And then lastly, my school reunion. I graduated in June of 2016. It's been 10 years since I left school, which is mind-blowing because I feel like 10 years is a long time. It's a decade, but in my head, like, it wasn't that much. I also have talked about it in my winter diaries. I kind of had a epiphany when I came back from my school reunion. Going back there after 10 years, it was extremely healing because I've been able to grow so much as a woman, and also I still maintain a lot of my school friendships, like my close group of friends that are from school. Like, I see them every single week. Some other girls I haven't seen in 10 years, and I've known them since I was 3 years old because I've gone to the same school since I was 3 till the age of 17. So I grew up with 90% of those girls. So seeing them was weird because we haven't talked in 10 years, but I felt like I saw them yesterday. It's a very emotional feeling. I'm a very melancholic person and a very nostalgic person. I tend to romanticize a lot of my life, and this feeling like going there, seeing my school. My school is a beautiful place. It's in the mountains, in a valley. It's a beautiful school, and going there, I just feel like I was here yesterday. Like, I feel at home in some way because I've been to the school since I was 3 years old. This is a very chatty winter favorites. So those were some of my winter favorites. I've been talking for 43 minutes so far. This is going to be an hour long video. Obviously, I'm going to try to edit it for 15-20 minutes, hopefully. Winter has been an amazing season for me. I've met a lot of new friends during winter. I socialized a lot. I've been saying yes to everything, which is always good. And I've also stood up for myself. Hope you guys like this video, and I will see you very soon. Bye.